right, hello everybody. This is Stuart Jean coming back at you from Musicians Institute, Hollywood, California, with Drum Magazine. We are today looking at the role of your hi-hat foot. It can get overlooked. So in my case, it's my left foot. It's all about balance on the seat, just like we talked about in the last video about the bass drum foot and how you're sitting on the seat. So the thing that happens is with drums, we're moving from different surfaces, different mediums, metal, plastic, hi-hat opens and closes. We got our pedals going on. We are going from hitting things extremely loud to gentle press rolls and subtleties on the snare drum. And we have to have that dynamic range. We don't have a volume pedal. We are our volume control. So with a hi-hat, it can definitely turn into a bit of an anchor, your hi-hat foot, where all these three limbs are working, and this is sort of holding down the fort, and it's just kind of creating tension. So we want to undo any tension that might be present. It's an easy place for tension to go if you're struggling with the groove you're playing. Where does the tension go? Since it can't be in the limbs that are working, and you might be aware of that, but you still have the tension. It might be mental and physical. Where does it go? It goes into the mouth. We tighten our mouth up and, chomp our teeth down. And it also goes into our hi-hat foot. And I will say to students a lot, they're playing good, but I can tell there's something up. And I'll say, are your toes curled up in your shoe right now? And they won't even realize it. Or maybe the hamstrings are tight because you're just not really, you don't want to be lazy and sit like a blob. You have to be, upright and have good posture, but you don't want to have tension. So the hi-hat is all about controlling. If you just sit in your chair right now, sit at your drums, wherever you are. If you just sit with your feet flat on the ground or on your pedals, heel down, and your rest of your body relaxed, almost like you're going to meditate or something, and just lift your left foot up, or your hi-hat foot, excuse me, and bring it back down slowly. And you feel in the shin there, and then the calf, and the top of the foot, the ankle, the toes. That can definitely create some tension. These small movements like these micromuscular movements that are happening at the same time when maybe on the bass drum we're exerting a full-on, burying the beater into the head type of thing. So the very first way to assess your, basic control and balance on the kit is a disco beat. Okay, so let's take the snare drum away. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay, that's some independence right there. All right, what's happening? Let's not open the hi-hat. I am definitely hitting the upbeats on the hi-hat to produce that sound. Okay, so my right hand and my right foot are independent. When I'm hitting the bass drum hard, I'm hitting the hi-hat lightly, right? And then also, I have to open the hi-hat. If I stop moving my foot, still hitting the hi-hat like this, but now we got somewhere. That's all I'm doing. So it's playing quarter notes. 1, 2, it's opening on the upbeat, but just a little before, you got to get that timing down and find that sweet spot. Closing back on 1. It's not this. Okay, I don't need to open the hi-hat all the way like that. That's too much air. And that's the number one thing I see in younger players that have chops and can play, but they looked over this. They missed this. So while I'm doing this, what's the right foot, my bass drum foot? That's definitely some different action going on. That will affect my balance. I have to make sure I'm centered and can control. I guess it's a lot like related to I don't surf or skateboard, but a lot of my students do, and that's you have to balance yourself, and you can't overexert on one side. You're constantly sort of playing it. I guess riding a bike or a motorcycle as well. You're pivoting on your core, and everything else has to sort of be in check. So the core has to be solid, right? So. But what happens is we want to hit this bass drum really hard, and of course that makes both our feet want to go like that, and we start rocking back and forth, and then we don't have control up here, and we're producing a bad sound and a bad time feel. Next would be, and again, this helps with the balance, is same kind of groove. Up on the ride cymbal and just start, I think, rocking eighth notes with your foot on the ball of your foot. And then maybe get a little funkier. It'll check your balance. All right, cool. So balance issues. Then timing, this kind of thing. Hi-hat barking. That deal, you want to have that as a go-to. All right, that's, again, timing. You double bass guys might be pretty good at this. So when the hi-hat's open, I'm hitting it with a stick. I call it barking. That's we always called it. So, yeah. What else can we do with the hi-hat? Splashing. That's great for ballads, thickening your snare drum sound. Something like that, great for, second line grooves and all that. Make that a fluid motion, something you're used to doing. So just kind of kicking the palm, I would call it the palm of my foot, the ball of my foot. And just practice letting them rattle. I mean, you could just go 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, or anything like that, just to get some timing down. And you're just, you're feeling it in your hammies all the way down. You just want to be aware of that. You want to make sure you stretch before you play. Simple hamstring stretches, back, lower back. As far as playing 2 and 4, like in the jazz setting, that's definitely an important role of the hi-hat, is 2 and 4 there. So, it depends. For me personally, I tend to play on the ball of my foot, and I'm really playing like all quarter notes. 1, 2, with my foot. It's moving in a quarter note fashion, and I'm just sort of letting it release onto 2 and 4. You can go heel toe. No. More relaxed that way, but it depends on the tempo. I feel like I'm working more if I go any faster than that. So, but definitely on ballads, brushes, ballads, things like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, definitely rocking on the ball of my foot for those. I want to stay settled down. Again, it's back to that bounce on the seat. 3, and control. Slow, controlled movements. Yeah, so that's what my thoughts on the hi-hat there. It's all about the pressure and then your relationship with your hi-hat hand. You can change every groove you play. It could be a different style. You know, it could be AC/DC, or maybe it's more pop, or maybe that's like more funky, R&B. You know, maybe more classic rocks, like a little more inconsistent, a little sloppy. Right? More like metal could be like. Disco-y. Kick and snare haven't changed at all for the most part. It's the hi-hat, all different styles right there, and it's so important. I'm slightly changing what I'm doing up here, but really it's coming from down here. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for checking these out, and I love the feedback and the comments and you know, the support. So in Drum Magazine, thank you as well, and that's it, everyone. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.